Sharing the truth one fact at a time. This is the Free America Radio Network.
Hey folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 1st of July, 2014. How are you? Lots of things going on, lots of things happening, and I want to put my final say on the whole Supreme Court decision for in favor of Hobby Lobby. No member of Congress should overlook the First Amendment. No member of Congress, including the President of the United States, should look over any of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Congress shall make no law, basically abridging the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom of worship. No member of Congress should make no law. Okay? And I cannot stress that point enough. Okay? Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Done. This Hobby Lobby finding or verdict, or however you want to call it, from the Supreme Court is within the Constitution. It's the First Amendment. It is within their constitutional rights of a business owner to do what they do. And here's the bottom line. If people do not like that decision, they can shop elsewhere, they can work elsewhere, they can, pardon my French, but they can bitch, moan, and groan all they want. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871 is the rule of law. You don't like it, pack your bags, get to another country. I don't know why people are so upset about this. It has nothing to do with the business telling a woman what they should do with their body and yada, yada, yada. Liberals are screaming to high heaven that this is what this is all about. No, it's not, so shut your big damn pie hole. Yeah, don't get me started. Just don't get me started, all right? You know what? People will never be pleased unless things are their way. If you work for a company that does not see things your way, quit that job, create your own company, and go from there. And then deal with the fact that some employee that you have is going to be pissed off that you're not doing things their way. What are you going to do? Create socialism within your own company? Create fascism or a dictatorship where people will be pissed off all the time? Kind of something to think about, isn't it? I'll be back right after this. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network. Come join me on the Views Expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on freeamericaradio.us. Eastland Radio Repertory Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor? Do you want to hone your abilities? Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com. We are currently looking for voice actors to fill certain character roles in an ongoing radio play in development. Please send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Hold on tight. Get ready.
Hey folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for the 1st of July, 2014. I am so glad that you are listening to this. I have seen so much in the news lately as far as Yahoo News, Reuters, posts about, this Hobby Lobby thing, what's happening in Israel, and all this, that, and the other thing. And I really want to stress this one point, and it's real simple, and I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm about to say. I say that tongue-in-cheek because I know you're all going to misinterpret everything I say. Okay, so let me just be straightforward here. And that is this. No one has a right to tell you what to do, when to do it, why to do it, and how to do it. Ever. No one does, ever, in your whole life. Unless you have a boss that pays you every 2 weeks, and then, hey, that's a totally different story, isn't it? So, if you work at a company, and I'm going to base my explanation, my rant, my view here on the current Supreme Court decision with Hobby Lobby, in favor of Hobby Lobby. What I'm about to say is this, and it is, if you work for a company, and that company provides a health insurance package, and you are covered by that package, I'm stressing the word package for a reason, because I'll tell you here in a bit. And if that package, if you look through your coverage and all of that, and you look at who your doctors are, nobody ever does. Nobody opens up that thing they give you in the Human Resources office, and you don't read any of that, do you? None of it, do you? Well, that's your problem. Because then you would find out whether or not you're covered on certain operations and certain dental or vision, if you're covered for certain types of glasses or whatever. And you 10 to 1 odds, you're going to find out when you go get a pair of glasses that the ones you want aren't covered under your prescription is not covered under your package. You won't know that unless you read all the information. So if you work for a company and you're covered under their health care package, and it only covers so much, and you find out later on that you weren't covered for a particular operation or some dental work, that's your problem. That is your problem. Because your healthcare package is not an entitlement that your company has to give you. There is nowhere in the law that says that a company you work for has to give you health insurance or a health care package from a provider that would help you. There's no law that says that. And if you found out from your employer that you are not covered in certain areas, that's not the company's problem. That's your problem. Because here's a solution that's really, really simple. If you are not covered under, if everything that you want covered is not covered under your health care package in your employment, you better budget in your family budget to go out and get supplementary coverage for you and your family. Well, what if I can't do that? That's not the company's problem that you work for. I don't see a reason why a company needs to cover you anyway. Years ago in the 40s, that's where it was. People coming back from World War II, and instead of paying them a huge amount of a living wage of that time, they offered health care coverage. And it went from there. Okay? And it got progressively better through the years, and then the 70s hit, and then things starting to go down just a little. Look at the numbers. The statistics are there. People were going with companies that were non-union, that were paying decent wages, and that had a pretty good health care package within their benefits. Look at how that started to decline. Here it is, 2014. Some 60 years later, 70 years later, okay, from World War II, 1944-45. Look at what's happening. Companies are failing, and don't tell me it's economics. Look at the basic foundation financially of a company. First, they have to pay the overhead. They have to pay, whatever it is. That's minus labor, minus your body being there in the business, and 2, minus benefits, what they cover you through whatever benefits they have. So here's the thing. If you work for a company that does not cover you in their health care package, go out and buy your own. I myself believe that the days of a company, or the days that you worked for a company for more than 30 years and they covered everything in their health package, whatever it is, that's over. All of that is over. It's archaic. It's over. It's done. It's finished. That's it. Over. The average amount of years that a person works for a company is about 5 to 7 years. Okay? And as you progress through a company, do you not think that it's up to you to get additional training to rise within that company, or take a night class to go create your own business, or to go get into another career? Don't you think that's your responsibility and not the company's? Well, your body, male or female, is your body. You're responsible for that body, not the company you work for. The decision that the Supreme Court made yesterday was exactly the decision that had to be made to protect religious freedom and, in my opinion, from my perspective, decrease the dependability on the employee to the employer's healthcare package. Because, A, companies are dumping their health care due to the ACA or, the Affordable Care Act, or AKA Obamacare, because they can't afford it anymore. Their premiums doubled, tripled, quadrupled in some areas. So go out and get your own package and make sure it covers you 100%, that you don't have to pay 20% or 15% or 10%. If that's what you want, then you're going to have to go get it. The company is not responsible for your health care. Thank you. So that's what I want to say about that. You are responsible for you, not the company. So anyway, I have written on, I've posted on Facebook many different things about how I feel about this. And I will share them later on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, because I want you to know where I stand. Now, let me go here. If a person decides, if you as a person decide that you want to quit your, job and go out and create your own business, and you pay yourself as your own employee, and you find a healthcare package provider that could, accommodate for that. There's a lot of them out there for sole proprietor, limited liability company, and businesses that are owned only by one person. There's a lot of packages out there. Go look for them. I mean, they're there. They're simple. But the fact of the matter is that you are responsible for that. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of how I see this is too many people want too many things for free, period. They want somebody else to pay for everything. Why doesn't, and I've had people ask me this, why don't businesses pay for everything? They make enough money. Really? Do you know how much taxes they pay on you for having your butt in their business? You're working in their business, driving truck, working in a warehouse, in a casino, whatever. You yourself, well, the company is being, I don't like using this term, but it's the only term the word that I can find, is the company is being charged a tax for every single employee that they have. That includes you. Okay? Oh, they're not just paying you whatever you make an hour. If you minus what they pay to the state, if you minus what they pay to the feds, to unemployment insurance, to the basic, what is that? What's the one? Medicare, Medicaid for the state, whatever, for medical, reasons. All that is a tax. You make $10 an hour, they're paying out anywhere between $12 to $15 an hour. Okay? $2 to $3, $2 to $5 more than what you make an hour. Then you add the healthcare package that you're paying for out of your pocket to their premium. Yeah. You see, they can't cover the whole thing. They'd be spending anywhere between paying you $10 an hour, they'd be doubling that just to pay everything else for you. Okay. I know most people, and I've heard it, I've seen it today, and I've heard it before, is why don't companies just totally eliminate any type of beneficial coverage in that degree as far as health, dental, vision, that kind of thing, and just pay people pay them a living wage, or pay them the rest of that money they would pay out on that, and just pay you so you can go out and get your own. Well, I totally and absolutely agree with that. Why don't they? Why don't they? Because companies get discounts for group packages. Now, when I say group packages, you and your colleagues or fellow employees that you work with are in a group package. A number of people together in a group healthcare package. The provider that they choose says, okay, you have 25 employees, we'll give you a 10% discount. Or if you have 50 employees, we'll give you a 20% discount, or whatever, that kind of thing. So they get discounts. Okay? I mean, it's all about money, folks. But this decision that the Supreme Court had in favor of Hobby Lobby is the right one, due to the fact that there is a religious freedom element to all of this. Okay? Now, what's that say? Does that say any company that is out there can look at their healthcare package and provider and say, well, because of my disdain, let's go with that negative sense first, my disdain of that person's religion, I don't want them covered there. Or, how about the opposite side of that? Because of the owner looking at this situation says, because of my religious convictions, I am not going to provide that benefit to my employees. This is what Hobby Lobby did. But it wasn't them. Because you have to go down the line. They have a religious conviction. They told their healthcare provider, this is what we'll do. The healthcare provider went, okay. Saves them money. Right? Excuse me. Thing going on in my sinuses there. And when you examine the very basic economics of a business, you will find that I'm going to venture a guess here and say anywhere between 45 to 65% of the cost of that business is laid upon the wages and salaries given to their employees. Okay? So that doesn't leave a whole lot for the company to pay for everything in the benefits package that you have. Okay? Because if you go look at those types of packages on your own, there's some really expensive packages out there. Have you checked them out? Now imagine if you were a business owner, even with the discount, you wouldn't be able to pay that and the whole thing, covering everybody 100% and still pay you a salary or a wage. Just doesn't make any sense to me. So quit your bitching because it's over. It has nothing to do with someone telling a woman what to do with their body, okay? It has everything to do with religious freedom. Oh, that's a slippery slope, is it not? Well, if that's the case, then why, then it's going to come to the point where McDonald's is going to say, well, we have a healthcare package, but here's what we're not going to cover. Well, one of my friends on Facebook posted something that was very, very weak as an argument. And that was, well, if I went to, or they said Taco Bell, so I'm going to use McDonald's. But they said something to the effect that, let's use me as an example. If I went to McDonald's and ordered 3 cheeseburgers, they don't have a right to come tell me, oh, by the way, you cannot eat this one. Well, let me tell you something. That's a very, very weak argument. Okay? Very weak. There's no foundation to that. It has no leg to stand on. The company decided to do one thing and one thing only. Stand upon their religious convictions against contraceptive. That's Hobby Lobby. Somebody went, "You're going to pay for my contraception. My contraceptives, I mean." So they got sued. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Your religion, your religious convictions are held up under the First Amendment." Okay, then. That's only part of it, folks. Trust me, this is not going to go away anytime soon. Okay? So what does that say, and what precedent does that set for other companies? I don't know. Like I said, this whole situation is not going to be over anytime soon. Oh, I bet there's going to be more people suing because of the decision of the Supreme Court. I believe that there are going to be more companies out there that are going to say, well, if I do this, I don't want to be sued. If I did what Hobby Lobby did, I don't want to be sued, so I'm not going to do it. Okay? But then there are companies out there, and I've heard of them, and you can go look this up yourself. There are companies out there with, I think, anywhere between from I think 7 or 8 employees to about 25 or 30 that are dropping their health care coverage, their packages that they have, and their providers, and they're paying their employees a lot more money, and these employees are going out and finding their own. Now, here's the little catch. The ACA, the Patients Affordable Care Act, or as you all know it as Obamacare, has caused all those premiums to go up. As I said, double, triple, or quadrupled in some areas. So, in effect, you're working anywhere between 29 to 40 hours a week, making the money you make, and still cannot afford health care. Okay? So, what do? Well, chances are, I don't even say chances, it is a pretty good guess that most people have either gotten fired from their job, laid off from their job, or quit their job and got Obamacare. I don't want to even call it that. It's the ACA, the Patients Affordable Care Act. And got it for nothing because they don't have an income, and they go from there. Or their spouse has an income, and it qualifies to get a certain, package at a very low price. But there's other packages out there. Now, how can a company be crucified, no pun intended, because their owners are Christian and say, we're not going to cover contraception? Well, the rational, smart, intelligent thing would be to let it go. Women and men, you are responsible for your bodies. I don't even think companies and I don't even think healthcare providers should be, with companies, the packages that these companies have. I don't think they should even be paying for Viagra or some sort of male thing. I don't think so. The things that they should do is provide for women's breast cancer, preventative elements in that, all of that. And men, same thing, prostate, all that. Basic stuff. They shouldn't do anything else. That's it. Matter of fact, the other thing is, the optimum thing is that companies shouldn't have healthcare packages whatsoever. They should pay you a living wage so you can go out and buy your own. Okay, that would be the optimum thing, because then it's your choice, not the company's choice, and then you're responsible for whatever happens, right? I'll be back right after this. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.
Time to take our republic back, folks. Brian Bonner, the Uncooperative Radio Show host, will tell you how. Join us for the ride of your life. Using humor and the facts, we will expose the news that the lamestream media refuses to report. The Constitution is the solution, and we can prove it. Listen in and find out what it means to be an uncooperative citizen of these United States. You can find our show at uncooperativerradio.com, and we are rebroadcast on redstatetalkradio.com.
Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast for the 1st of July, 2014. Can you believe it's July already? Holy crap. Oh my God. What else is there? Well, you know, what's going on in the sports world today? What's going on in Hollywood? What's happening in, who cares about that? Let's try to save our nation, shall we? What? Yeah, what? Save our nation. Well, why would anybody want to do that? I don't know, man. You know, I not that I don't know how to save my nation. The thing is that we need to do a lot more than what we're doing. Hey, get this from Grass Fire Nation on Facebook. Let me go look again. Let me make sure. Grass Fire Nation on Facebook. Excuse me. Holy crap. From libertynews.com. Shock. U.S. government files lawsuit against American company to require employees to speak English. Judicial Watch said, well, actually, the article begins, think it's frustrating to call in to a customer service center and be hit with all kinds of selections before getting the English-only option. Imagine walking into an American store and not being able to communicate with any staff members. This is exactly the kind of path we're on if the U.S. government gets its way. In a seemingly unreal move, the U.S. government has filed a lawsuit against an American company for requiring all employees to speak English. Judicial Watch says this. The United States government is actually suing a private American business for discriminating against Hispanic and Asian employees because they don't speak English on the job. It involves a Green Bay, Wisconsin metal and plastics manufacturer that fired a group of Hmong and Hispanic workers over their English skills, quote, even though those skills were not needed to perform their jobs, unquote, according to the feds. More importantly, forcing employees to speak English in the United States violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, says the Obama administration. Here's the twisted explanation from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the federal agency that enforces the nation's workplace discrimination laws. The Civil Rights Act protects employees from discrimination based on national origin, which includes linguistic characteristics of a national origin group. Therefore, according to this reasoning, foreigners have a right to speak their native language even during work hours at an American company that requires English. Who exactly does the U.S. government represent these days? It most certainly isn't its own citizens. Let me put that up on the Wayne S. Beer Show Facebook page and also the Free America Radio Facebook page. Is that nuts or what? Okay, is that just crazy? Is that just okay? I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this once. Okay, I don't have a problem with people speaking their native language, but when you look at me and speak to me, you will speak English. Got it? That's just the way it is. Now, a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like the fact that that I say stuff like that. Well, tough. You come to this country, you better learn how to speak English. That's just the way it is. You don't like it? Stay in your own damn country. Now, what else is there? What else is there in the news? Well, the whole border crisis has led to this, folks, from 10 News and ABC San Diego KGTV. Just in, a plane carrying just over 140 undocumented families and children has landed at San Diego's Lindbergh Field and will be taken to a federal processing station in Marietta. Officials say the influx in migrants from Central America is due to the rampant crime and poverty in that area. Where's the full story? I will tell you. News10.com. The charter jet from Texas left McAllen International Airport Tuesday morning. The immigrants were set to be bused to Marietta, where they would be processed at the Border Patrol office. Awaiting them in Marietta will be protesters. This comes after President Obama, in a news conference Monday, called the spike in immigrants crossing into the U.S. through Texas a quote-unquote humanitarian crisis. On Monday, he asked for more than $2 billion to help with the situation. The president said he will go around Congress and shift resources to the border by the end of the summer. There's your dictator, folks. The U.S. is seeing a surge of immigrants from Central America due to rampant crime there, with a large number of those being unaccompanied children who are seeking to join their families. Hondurans, Salvadorans, Guatemalans are making up about 75% of those caught in South Texas. Authorities arrested more than 47,000 unaccompanied children on the border from October 2013 to May of 2014, up to 92% from the same period a year earlier, according to the Associated Press. Unlike Mexicans, who can be deported the same day with a short bus ride, Central Americans must be sent home on U.S. government flights, and an expensive process. Now, I read that paragraph, but let me tell you, there was a recruitment effort from the government for people to come help with blankets and all this. This is back in January. Now, why is that? Because they knew this was going to happen. They saw this coming. They didn't tell us until last week. Remember when the border crisis was, on the news last week? Well, let me tell you something. There's going to be people in San Diego that are going to close the borders, period. And that's not the Border Patrol, and that's not the federal government. That's we the people. Why? Because we cannot handle any more people. What part of $18 trillion in debt do you not get? By the way, the actual number, 65 to $70 trillion. So I don't want to hear it anymore. You humanitarian efforts, we need to give. You want to believe that crap? Then guess what? Why don't you go down there and help them? I got a better idea. Why don't we just close the border? I mean, it makes more sense. Plus, look at what's happening down there. Now you got, you've got people down there that are coming over with diseases and disorders and all this, and people have actually called the CDC to say, hey, we need some help. You know what the CDC said? It's not our problem. What? The CDC, they don't give a crap. The representatives in Washington, D.C. don't give one crap about you. They don't give a rat's ass about any of you or us or anything. They don't care. President Obama said he's going to go around the Constitution. He's going to go around the Congress. He's going to go around everything. He's a freaking dictator. Can we, impeach him now? By the way, if people really wanted him impeached, they would have done it already. But I'm going to give you this. It's easier to push him out of office than it is to impeach him. Believe me. How do you push him out of office? You tell your representatives up there, and like I said, they don't care about you, but when you make enough noise and you start, let's just say, when they believe their political careers are on the line, they'll do something. Don't know what, but they'll do something. And that's something that you have to do. Now, here's the other thing. Now, of course, they can do something when you yell loud enough, but here's something else. Congress is irrelevant. They don't have any power anymore. All the power is in the executive branch, and at the head of that executive branch is Barack Hussein Obama. Okay? So, he's not only opening the borders for, a complete and utter in-your-face amnesty to hell with your votes, but he is staging, if he knows it or not, a second revolution. And guaranteed it will happen. When everything fails, when the economy fails, when this United States falls apart, and it has before in the past, go look in history, people have rose up and taken matters into their own hands and done exactly what needed to be done to restore the republic. We haven't lasted 238 years for no reason. Several times in our history, it has collapsed. The only problem that really has caused additional problems was the Act of 1871, period. That was it. The Rothschilds came in and bought up all of the United States, and instead of destroying America from the outside, which that's what they wanted to do because we separated from England and all of that, they decided we're going to get them from the inside. So they bought us out. They propped up the politicians. They started throwing money at Congress, and voila, here we are, 2014, dealing with the onset of, the onset of a revolution on all aspects of our lives, intellectually, spiritually, economically. And people don't understand that. People don't get it. People don't have that understanding of how bad it truly is. So we need to push people out of Congress. Push people. Literally. What part of their political careers are on the line do you not understand? Because here's the thing. If we don't push them out and get them to push and push and push, Barack Hussein Obama will set himself up as a dictator. He will pretty much eliminate and abolish Congress. And anybody that's against him, he will call upon his army to take care of the situation. Now, do you really want that? I don't. I don't want that. But I do know this as well. We have to do something. We have to do something. If we don't, we're freaking screwed, people. We have gone beyond the event horizon. We have gone beyond the event horizon. We can no longer withstand the pressure of what is going on. It will eventually, maybe not tomorrow, next week, or next year, but it will eventually collapse. At that point, folks, no laws, no rules, no regulations. It's a free-for-all, and anybody can do anything they want, and that is going to be total chaos and anarchy, and people are going to die. Do you understand that now? That includes your family. Hey, with no laws and no rules, criminals can just go right into any house they want, beat everybody up, kill them, take whatever they want, and go do whatever it is they want to do. No laws, no nothing. Is it going to get to that point? Let's hope not. Let's hope something within the next few weeks, few months can be done that's going to stop this crazy train from derailing. Okay? I don't know how much more people are going to be able to take, and I guarantee you people aren't going to be taking a whole hell of a lot because they see what's going on. They understand what's going on. And the United States is going to be gone. The United States is going, as you and I know it, is going to be gone. There's going to be regions that are going to have their own leaders, their own rules, their own regulations, and to hell with constitutional rights. Got it? I don't want to see that coming to you. I don't want to see that being implemented in any way, shape, or form. Do you? Really? Come join me on the Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us. Check things out there on the website at freeamericaradio.us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, even if you disagree with me, folks, email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Put in the subject line radio so I know that, you know, it's from you, that you're listening, okay? So, I don't know, folks. I mean, it's coming down to such a degree that now we just cannot put up with any more at all. Okay? We just can't. All right? It's hard enough that the American people here in the United States that were born and raised here, it's hard enough for us to work and survive. Do you want to know what's going to happen after the influx of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people come from Mexico and Central America and make their home up here? Do you know what it's going to be like? I don't even want to imagine, but I can tell you it's not going to be good. All right? Now, let me tell you this. This is on the Drudge Report. And do you not remember Obama saying he's not going to send any military into Iraq? He said that a few days ago, maybe last week, right? From USA Today, Obama sends up to 200 more troops to Iraq. President Obama told Congress on Monday that he is deploying 200 more troops to Iraq to bolster security in the U.S. Embassy and the airport in Baghdad. These and previously announced forces are being sent, quote, for the purpose of protecting U.S. citizens and property, if necessary, and are equipped for combat, unquote, Obama said in a letter to Congress required under the U.S. War Powers Resolution. Earlier this month, Obama announced the deployment of 275 troops to protect the embassy. In addition to security, these troops will provide, quote, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance support, unquote, Obama said. The president is also in the process of sending up to 300 military advisors to assist in Iraq as it battles an invading army of jihadists that has taken over major cities and threatens the capital of Baghdad. Obama said forces, quote, will remain in Iraq until the security situation becomes such that it is no longer needed, unquote. The U.S. is also sending helicopters and drones that can, quote, bolster airfield and travel route security, unquote. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said, quote, the presence of these additional forces will help enable the embassy to continue its critical diplomatic mission and work in Iraq on challenges they are facing as they confront Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant, Kirby said. Put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page and the Free America Radio Facebook page. There are times, folks, that you just have to say, you know what? There's nothing else left. We have to do this, whatever this may be. I don't know what your plans are. I don't know how you're, preparing yourself. But I can tell you this. You better get prepared with as much as you can get prepared with. Okay? What do I mean by that? Food, clothing, ammo, whatever you need. And you better start doing some reconnaissance on your own and finding places to be other than in the city. If you're out in the country, you better start thinking about the influx of the city folk coming out to your area. And you better prepare for that as well. I can only do small things, and you can do small things as well by helping Free America Radio Network out, and I can help you out as well. Go to freeamericaradio.us, go to the top of the page. It says Emergency Food Supply. Click on that and get as much as you possibly can. Okay? Just that's all I can do right now for you. Okay? If you live in another country, you have to take into consideration what's happening there and do everything you can to prepare yourself. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else I don't know what other steps I can take to help you prepare. All I can say is, folks, here's a roadmap. You are here, and you need to get someplace else other than where you're at, and you need to prepare for that. I'm just doing small things at this point. Go to freeamericaradio.us, go to the top of the page. Emergency Food Supply. Click that, get as much as you possibly can. Okay? And I like I said, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't. I can share with you the news. I can show you what's happening. I can give you my views and opinions, but it boils down to this. You are responsible for you. And you need to take steps to prepare yourself. Mentally, physically. Yeah, I mean, it's How many times in your life have you asked yourself, if it came down to it, could I defend myself? Well, you probably you've probably asked that question of yourself over the years. But here's a more important question. If I protect myself and my family, am I ready to defend my family and myself by taking a life of another person? See the mental anguish you got to go through before you prepare yourself? Do you understand where that goes? I mean, go look at some of this stuff. Examine, the documents from several areas of mental health where people, think that. And I didn't want to do this or what. Trust me, there's good and bad in everything. But when you consider the fact that you have to defend your family, your city, your state, your county, your home, your block, your neighborhood, whatever, you've got to put that right out in front of you. Are you able to protect your family, even if it means taking a life of another person? And that is a very, very strong question, because not a lot of people are able to do that. But they will, because, and I'll tell you this right now, the innate feeling, the inside feeling that a person has, regardless of whether or not it's been shown before in your own personal life, you will do everything to protect your family, your friends, your neighborhood, your city, your state. You'll do everything you can. It's inside of you. Regardless of where your mind is at, you will, it's like automatic pilot. Somebody starts beating up on your family or you're going to do everything you can to survive. It's in there. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. I'm happy to be doing these podcasts and the broadcasts that I do on a daily basis sometimes. But Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, the views expressed live at freeamericaradio.us. I do that every day. The Wayne S. Pierce Show, I usually either do a podcast or a live show, depending on what I'm doing. And you can be a part of supporting Free America Radio Network. You can either donate or sponsor one of the shows. Go to freeamericaradio.us, go to the top of the page and click on Emergency Food Supply. That helps out Free America Radio and helps you out too. You can go to the bottom of the page and donate to the Free America Radio Network if you'd like. You can go to the sponsors page and sponsor one of the shows. That's fine. There's only two things that I ask. And it's really, really simple. Be yourself. Know who you are. Ask yourself the tough questions and make sure you can answer them honestly. The other thing is, prepare yourself. We live in a police state. We live in a police state. This current resident of the White House in Washington, D.C. is nothing more than a fascist dictator. Why do you think he shook hands with Hugo Chavez in 2008? Think about it, folks. And on that note, I want to remind you, the views expressed live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, freeamericaradio.us, and Spreaker.com, Free America Radio Network. Go check out Brian Lang on LifeTruthRadio.com as well. So anyway, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Go have fun. Enjoy your Tuesday. And be safe out there and prepare yourself. Talk to you later.